Hello and welcome back to In Stitches with Jackie. If you're new, welcome. I don't tend to do what's next on the list videos, and I'm not even sure some of these things I will even show on the channel, but probably will in some form or another. But just wanted to show some of the projects I'm working on behind the scenes besides the things that I post on the channel, as far as mainly embroidery. I mainly do embroidery because I feel like sometimes I don't have the space to properly show or record stitching, sewing. So I just find it a little easier to showcase the embroidery projects. But I wanted to show some of the quilt projects I have going on and some of the things that I have on my list. I was going to try to stitch something up today, and then I realized there was some piecing, and I was like, okay, you are done. You're done. But what I want to do, though, is I want to have some things that I am getting ready and packing up for the quilt retreat that I have the third week. So next weekend, I have an embroidery event that's 2 days, the Claudia Creations. And then the following week, Friday, Saturday to Sunday, I am doing a away retreat, sewing retreat. I'm going to take my brother NQ 3550W with me for that, and I may bring my embroidery module, but I really want to concentrate on some quilts because my quilts are like, they are stacking up. I completed my 2 Halloween quilts, but those were new purchases, and there's a lot of this stuff that's just been kind of sitting and getting pushed back. And I'm really working hard on not purchasing new projects. And every time I say that, I purchase a new project. I have very much a weakness for very much have a weakness for Halloween. There's no doubt about it. I just seem to really struggle with not buying Halloween. So anyway, this is a quilt I am working on, and I am doing the nice bright colorway, and it's by Field and Furrows, and it is a block of the month, and I am doing this at my local quilt shop, and it is a quilt that we work on for club. So it's called Clubhouse, and it's $35 for the year. I mean, come on. And we work on a quilt. There's always extra projects. There's show and tell. Just a lot of fun. Meet once a month. And besides this, I'm behind now. Now, when we first started, I was very much on track. So I will show, these are some of the cuts. If I would have really did my research, sometimes you get excited by something, and when I saw the picture of this quilt, I didn't even ask what kind of fabrics. Well, they're batiks. I'm not crazy. It says it right there. I'm not crazy about batiks, and I think they're a little easier to sew because they don't stretch. But these are really small pieces. They're like 1-inch pieces, and trying to make these little tiny stars. Like this one I messed up because I obviously don't have a 1/4 inch there. And that's very important when you're piecing stuff like this. You don't want to lose that point. And so I've had to take some of them apart because I was trying to do it a little faster. And so this is something that really takes time. This is no good there. So this is something I am actively working on, and this is the extra project. No surprise that I did not do the extra project, although I think the extra project looks doable. Do I think I'm going to do it? Probably not. Probably not. At least right now, not my plan to do that. I will show some of the blocks, and this is one of the projects I am going to take to retreat. I'm getting everything all packed up. These are some of the blocks I have already completed. We are on month 5 now. I completed the first month, which I believe was this block. So I completed the first month's block, and I think the first month was completing these, and then the second part of it was putting it together with this. And I think there's 16 of these. I don't know why, I just have like 3 of them sitting here. But there's 16 of these, and I did complete all of these, so check mark on that. And then this was, I believe, month 2, if I want to get this correct. I believe it is month 2. So month 1 was making all those blocks. Month 2 was creating that one. Yep, creating that block right there. That's the one that I have right here. And then I got to month 3, and now it's month 4 and month 5. So I am actually 3 months behind. Now, I am currently working on month 3. These are all the pieces that are cut right here for month 3. So I still have to put all these stars together. And what does month 3 look like when it's done? This is what month 3 is going to look like when it's done. So I'm going to have that star, and then there's going to be that other piece I still have to make. And then I'll be moving on to the log cabin, which I very much like. I've always wanted to do a log cabin. So there's quite a few log cabin blocks. I'm not even sure how many we have to complete. It says repeat all previous steps to make a total of 16. So I got to make 16 of those. Woo. No problem. And then month 5 that I'm behind on, it looks like it's a star block. And these are what these are going to look like. And it looks like, yeah, I don't even know how many we need of those. I don't even want to read that far. So this is something I am going to take to the quilting retreat. And I'm hoping that I'm at least, I don't think that, I tend to stay up late. But just wanted to show this. This is one of my projects that I'm working on. These are very important to stay on track. It's so important to stay on track with these projects, because if you don't, it's close to impossible to catch up then. So I also wanted to show the other projects we're doing. We have a whole other book of projects we're supposed to be doing, and I'm so organized I can't find it. I can't find it. I have only made one of the extra projects, so again, not enough hours in the day to do this stuff. So let me show you the other project that I am doing cutting on that I'm very excited about. Okay, so this pattern, Dead End by Pammy Jane, it is a 56 by 64 foundation paper pieced project. I was very excited when I saw this. I came across a YouTube, Rose City Designs. I think he's Rose City Designs. And he said he was doing this quilt along. So he's doing this as a quilt along. So I of course saw the pattern and was like, wow, I really have to do that. And I'm going to do this with my own fabrics, because I am not going to buy the kit. Well, the more I looked at it, I was like, how could I not do these fabrics? I mean, how could it be done any differently? So I did get the fabric kit, and it's like too much to go through. I'll just do some fast showing of some of these fabrics. I have started cutting already, and just adorable, adorable fabrics. These are like fussy cut. Look at this background. I, of course, right away was like, I need more of that. I need more of that. And then just all of this. There's just a heavy bundle of just, I mean, it just, look at this. Look at those, our teeth. It just goes on and on. I mean, so I ended up getting the fabric bundle. I believe I bought it on Etsy. I believe. I'm not sure. I might have bought it from her site. I could be lying there. I don't even remember. It was kind of a weak moment where I said, okay, I'm going to buy it. And then I was like, I forgot what I paid for it. I don't even know. It was over $100, maybe $139, $149. And of course, another copy of the pattern came with it, and I had already purchased the pattern. So I actually purchased the pattern twice. Very glad to support this pattern designer, Pammy Jane. So Rose City Design, I think he's on YouTube, and he does these community quilts, and he's awesome in every way. But he announced that he was doing this, block of the month. He didn't refer to it, a sew along, not a block a month. I'm not accurate with that statement. A sew along for this, and I think once a week he shows the blocks. Now the very first month he sat and he showed how to paper piece. I only paper pieced one thing prior in my 20 plus years of quilting and sewing and embroidery. I've always wanted to do paper piecing. It's been on my short list for a long time that has turned into a long list and back to a gotta do this list. So there's no way, obviously, that this is going to be completed for this year, but I wanted to get it started. So I did get, let me find the papers that I got. I don't know, for any paper piecing people out there, I got this Carol Dokes Foundation paper piecing paper, and it's like super thin and supposed to be really good. Anybody out there who does a lot of paper piecing, would you recommend this? Funny thing is, I've had one of these that I bought, of course, many years ago. Never used it, can't find it. So I ended up having to buy another one, but I am sure that I am going to find the other one that I have owned for about 8 years. But this is what I got. Let me know, anybody out there, is this good? Is Carol Dokes Foundation paper piecing paper? It says it's lightweight, it absorbs less ink transfer, it's non-coated, fabric won't slip on it. So lots of positive things right there. So I did get that, and I have cut month one. I got all my paper piecing printed. I know that it has to be exact size. You have to measure it. I got that all good. And I cut all the pieces for the first 2 blocks. You make 2 houses, I believe. You make this one going in this direction, and then this one going in this direction. So they're mirror images of each other. So now tonight I wanted to see if I can get some cutting done. I've been taking this and I do my little marks, and now I'm moving on to the second one. And there is a sheet in here, very nicely done, that shows you what the color fabric is and what fabric it is, and you're able to see when you're following on the papers. She puts on there what fabric number it is and what, so that's been pretty easy to follow. Just a lot of pieces. What I decided to do is I'm gonna pre-cut. I wanted to have the first, I think he's already done the ghost. So he's already done this house, I believe he's done that house, and he's done the ghost. I mean, I am like way behind. I haven't done anything yet. I'm kind of overwhelmed. But I've come to the conclusion that I'm definitely not doing this sew along with him. I'm following him, and I'm glad that I came across his channel. But so I cut this, and then I think I'm going to cut, I want to try to get everything cut to the ghost. I think that block will be pretty easy because it's only 2 colors. And I plan on taking this to the quilting retreat that I'm going to. Also, another thing, what would be suggested here? Now, I purchased a small rotary cutter. I felt like a 28 millimeter. What is the suggestion? I've been doing a little research. I think that I see people using these, but then I see people using 45 also. Probably not a 60. This happens to be my favorite cutting size. Also have my glue stick. And now I do have the add a quarter rulers. I was only able to find a long one, so I know this will come in handy for this, but I also have one that's half this size. So I'm all set with supplies. I don't know if there's any other suggestions, but I am definitely going to get another block cut. My goal My goal for this year, because this is not going to be a completed quilt, my goal is to get the house. I would like to get all of the houses. As a matter of fact, I think he might have completed all the houses. I think my goal is if I can get 2 of the houses done and the ghost, and if that wraps it up, I'm gonna work on it all the way up until October, until Halloween, and then I'm going to put it up, but not far, because I feel like this is something I have to continue to work on. I feel like once I get my momentum and I'm doing things and trying to stay as on point as I can, if I do that, I'm going to be better off. I think if I put it up until next year, it's probably not going to be a good thing. So just wanted to show this. I'm very excited about this one, and very glad that I came across Rose City Originals for this sew along. I am going to get caught up. I just need a little confidence and thinking I can do this. It took me a long it took me a long time to cut all of this. So I'm going to keep making my progress on this. And on to the next thing that I am working on. So I also wanted to show some of the embroidery things. I had said that I'm going to be moving a little more away from the Kimberbell. I still have tons of Kimberbell stuff to do. I'm just not going to be stitching a lot of it on my channel. I have reasons for that, and just going to kind of keep it at that. But I will still do Kimberbell. I'm just not going to have it be a main focus of embroidery as I've had in the past. Hoop Studio, that is a part of Kimberbell, obviously, me time delivered, and I'm going to continue with that subscription at the current time. I just posted the 2 videos on the August project. So I saw, and this is why I need to decrease my exposure, I saw people working on this, and I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. It's Halloween, right? Well, there's a lot of prep that goes into these. You have to have the right fabric, and you have to have really all the threads to get the right shading. So this is not something I was like, oh, no big deal. I'm just gonna get this cut up. I'm gonna get this done. Yeah, probably not going to get this done. It's not one of my main projects. If I get to it, but I have to go through a whole list of thread. They sell thread kits for it, obviously. It's like $100 or $90. I have to go through the whole list, and I have to see. I'm going to do that probably while I'm on vacation, maybe when I'm just chilling. I have the list, and I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't know from here, but definitely need to go through my threads. I had started one time before I started an Excel sheet of all my threads, and I really wish I would have kept up on it, because I could have just printed it out and I could have seen what I have, right, if I would have kept up on that. So this is something I have planned in the works. I'll be honest, I haven't done a whole lot of OESD. I've seen a lot of it done, and they're really, really nice. I like this tiling scene because it involves a lot of fabric. So, and one of the other things that I've been very frustrated about is everybody has turned all of these projects now into scan and cut designs now. Everybody is putting all of their fabric through the scan and cut and putting the the fusible stabilizers on there, and the fusing stuff, or the steam-a-seam, whatever it is, and it's just gotten to the point where it's like everyone that I'm seeing that's doing it, they're doing it on their, they're saving the files, sending them to their brother, scan and cut, having it cut out, I'm like, okay, I have a scan and cut that's older, but I certainly, first of all, don't have time to do all of that. And it just frustrates me that every single time you feel like you're getting things, and then you realize that everybody's everybody's one-upping it and getting their scanning cuts, and, putting their fusible stabilizer, having to cut the exact size, doing all this stuff. And I think it's great, but I'm not buying a $900 scan and cut. I'm going to keep the $200 one I have that I bought about 6 years ago and used once to cut some fabric. So I'm going to go back to that one. So I may or may not get to this, but isn't that awesome? Now I have some Riley Blake designs. Now these are very hard to come by because I actually saw these on, I saw these on YouTube on the Riley Blake site, and I was like, huh, I mean, I don't know any quilt shop that I go into, at least the two that are in my neighborhood, or even ones that I watched on TV. None of them, I don't see any of them selling this. And these are only sold in shops. You cannot go to the Riley Blake site and purchase these. So I did find shops on Etsy and purchase them. So this, of course, is Halloween, Queen of Ween. And look at that. Look what I can make. Oh, very nice. And the designs on this are absolutely gorgeous. Of course, I haven't had time to stitch any of them out. I wanted to stitch the queen, and I'm not going to do the crown, but I want to do the mask, the eye mask. I have what do they call those? The sticks, but I want to stitch a couple of those out, and I know that I can do that. So definitely going to stitch a couple of masks out. Again, this is the Queen of Ween, and it's by Wicker Frisch of Great Joy Studio and Patchwork Quilt. So this is for a quilt, a door banner, masquerade mask, and then the crown. So I'm not interested in making the crown at all. Then I saw this Riley Blake. I thought, how cute would this be for the grandbabies? Come on. Look at this. These are made 100% in the hoop. In the hoop, 100%. Little Witch and Friends dolls. They have other ones too. So this is definitely on my short list. I really want to make the witch, and I want to make the spider and the cat. I want to make them all. I thought, how cute would the grandbabies love those, huh? So this is on my, I'm not going to call it my short list. I don't know. Would it be nice to get these done and put them on a little Christmas gift, or put them in a little thing? That would be cute. So definitely going to be stitching those up. This is another Riley Blake that I liked. It's in the Wings quilt, and it's by Wicker Frisch again. And super cool. This does not even touch on how beautiful this is. And it's actually a card. Print out these cards, and you make the quilt, and it's 3D. The leaves and everything are 3D. This is something that I don't know. I'm definitely not going to be starting this. This is definitely on my long list. Definitely on my long list. And I definitely want to do it. When you see it, if you go onto YouTube under the Riley Blake designs, embroidery designs, they feature these, and just beautiful. So that was one of the reasons I got it. These are not cheap. I want to say I paid like $69, I don't know, $70, I think, $59, $79, something like that. And then I got this Autumn Love quilt. So I was watching Becky with Power Tools with Thread, and she was doing a sew along. Again, she does all this snap applique and all this stuff in the computer, and cutting all her fabric in the scan and cut. I just got lost. And then she has Embrilliance, but she also has Stitch Artists, and there's all kinds of things that she can do that I can't. And so trying to follow her on this project just frustrated me out the door. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this like she's doing it. Now, I also did not want to buy the big quilt kit. As a matter of fact, I think they might have even been sold out of them, but I will show what I did get. I bought this a few months ago. So I think these are all like fat 8s or something. So I got this on Etsy. And so it's a lot of the fabrics that are in here. There's just tons of them. I mean, when it showed up at the house, I was like, wow, that's a lot of fabric, a lot of fabric. So I definitely am not going to have any problem. And I do have a fabric that I have on a bolt that will be perfect for the background. So I have all the fabrics to kind of do the blocks and such. I don't see that blue in here, but maybe, yeah, I think that's the blue for the roof. So there's a lot of the fabrics that will be in here, and, you know, many of them that won't. But I think that this is a big enough stash. I mean, there's a ton of fabric here. So I think that this is a big enough stash to get this project started. Okay, what is this project going to be? This, unfortunately, is going to be long list at this point because it is fall, it is autumn. Maybe I'll try a block or two and see, how they stitch out. Um, Maybe I could take this to the quilt retreat and maybe prep maybe one or two blocks and get those stitched and just kind of see how it's going to go. Is it going to be a challenge? I'll do a review on that. Is it, I'm not doing any snap applique. I'm not doing any cutting my fabric in a scan and cut. I am going to do it the traditional way that the embroidery designs say to do it. And this is a very nice project. I have seen a lot of people completing these. I think obviously you can make this quilt non-embroidery as well. So that is another thing that has been sitting around. And this is why I need to do more videos like this, because it just reminds me of how much stuff I have sitting around. And this doesn't touch the surface of the amount of things that I have. I have Tula Pink Nebula quilt that I started, I don't know, 7 years ago. I got all the middle blocks, none of the background. I have another block of the month that all of the packages are sitting. I worked on that on a retreat last year, got some of those blocks done. And I have multiple other quilts that I haven't even started yet. So I have, I'm making myself a goal book, and one of the things that I really want to stick to is I stopped watching again. I had to stop watching everything because every time I would say, well, I think I realize that I have enough of everything, and then I would watch a video and I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta make that. And so it's just snowballs. And I don't think I'm the only one here, and all these quilt shops, especially online, all they're doing is selling you after you buy everything that they have, then they move on to the next thing. Like I said, now it's the scan and cuts. And I think that just pushed me over the edge. I was like, I am not buying a scan and cut that is going to sit in a corner somewhere and I'm going to use it 2 times and I spent $900 on it. So not something, I'm just trying to be better. And I know that there's got to be more people out there that are going through the same thing. I just don't want to do this to myself anymore. This is, I created my channel, to be quite honest, to keep myself on track, and it has helped. But I fell off track again for sure. Halloween is definitely, it is a weakness of mine, and I have to learn to control it. I did purchase another Halloween box from a local quilt shop. Well, I'm saying local, it's about an hour away. I've never been there, but I bought her Halloween box last year, and I did one of the, I did the little bag, the little pumpkin bag, and then I still have to do the table runner that I didn't do. And I purchased that box that will be coming in October. And then this year, I'm also going to do the Missouri Star Christmas box. Now, I have never done, but I always hear a lot of great things about the Missouri Star. And again, it was another purchase. That box is, with shipping, it's like $214. $214 for more stuff for me to unpack and not know what to do with. I was looking for this little rotary cutter that I bought for my paper piecing ventures. And I couldn't even find the bag. Now, I bought this 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago when I went to the embroidery retreat. And I couldn't even find the bag because I put the bag up. I never even took the stuff out of it. When you start to do stuff like that, then you know you need to stop buying. At least that's the advice I'm giving myself. And with that, I have to show one last thing that, okay, somebody was showing this, and of course I had to have it. This was at club. How cute is this? Ghostly haunted. Look at this fabric. I mean, this came from Etsy, from Etsy today. I mean, how cute is that? I wanted to make a little purse with this. So, I mean, it's adorable, right? And I wasn't even gonna buy that. This is what I wanted to buy because somebody brought this to Clubhouse and they had it all quilted up. It's like a haunted house, the 13 days of Halloween, which is exactly what I do with that other thing. So this is a panel, a countdown calendar. And so I'm gonna make this for the grandbabies. Is this not cute? I mean, I almost feel like I need one for myself. Maybe I should keep this. I don't know. Very cute. And the lady that had hers completed, it was absolutely adorable. So yeah, I'm supposed to be getting this done too. All right, I think I've done enough rambling and showing stuff, and wish me luck on some of these projects. And please share if you find that if you're into sewing, embroidery, quilting, do you do the same thing? I, in the past, have only met one person. She was new to sewing, and we were all talking about all our projects, and oh my God, I got bins of stuff. I don't even know what's in there. And she said ever since she started, now this is a couple years in, she only buys one project at a time, and she doesn't buy anything else until she finishes that project. And I think I'm gonna put a little goal board up, and I think I'm gonna try to follow that. Wish me luck. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please stay tuned for completion of some of these projects.